came to change their direction. And why? And you will see them here in prostration, in row. Why in a row? To strengthen the community. It has more reasons.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyuzhirahu ala dini kullihi wa kafa billahi syahida. Berjumpa lagi dengan channel saya undang. Saya doakan semoga semua sahabat dalam keadaan sehat selalu. Pada video kali ini adalah bagian kelima dari usaha dakwah Ustadzah Bostram mengenalkan Islam pada mahasiswa di Santa Ursula, Jerman. Beliau dalam menjelaskan Islam kepada para mahasiswa terlihat sangat logik dan mudah diterima oleh akal manusia. Pada part 5 ini beliau menjelaskan mengenai rukun haji dan juga puasa Ramadan. Nah sahabat, mari kita saksikan saja video selengkapnya.
Here is a picture of the pilgrims. These are all human beings, by the way. These all black points are the heads of the people. If you look how they are dressed like monks in temples. Have you ever seen the dresses, the orange colors and so on? This is the same in white. As you can see, again a fingerprint of the religion from the past. So it's not that everything is lost. It is just brought into life again. And that was a mosque. This is called Kaaba, kubus, the form, kubus, and therefore they call it in Arabic Kaaba. It's just covered with something. Underneath you can see the stones. It is a temple to worship, made from Abraham, Prophet Abraham in the past with his son Ishmael. And before they prayed in that direction, before the revelation came to the prophet to pray in that direction, they prayed towards where? Towards Jerusalem. Why? Because Abraham lived there with his other son Isaac and worshipped there as well. So they prayed in that direction till the revelation came to change their direction. And why? And you will see them here in prostration, in row. Why in a row? To strengthen the community. It has more reasons. To have one direction while praying. If somebody comes, we are just making a line and so on. To pray in one direction, not just randomly. This is what you do while supplicating, but not during worship, to have an order. And this is during pilgrimage, so that there are so many people in one spot. This is once a year, and whoever, you have to do it one in your life, one time only. And only if you have the money, and if your health is in check. It should not, the religion, that is also mentioned in the Quran, is not to burden someone, to overburden. It's to ease your life and not to have an overburden. And therefore, I would like to show you a video where, first of all, the azan, the Bosnian friends must know it, the azan, the call for prayer, like the bells in the church and so on. In the mosque, we call just out, yeah? We call the people to the prayer. The prayer time is now arrived. And this is called adhan, and this sounds pretty much like this. And you can see here that picture, and these are all the people who are during the pilgrimage there, and they are not fitting in that temple, therefore it's closed. They closed the mosque because there are 2 million people in one spot. Nobody can go inside. It's too dangerous. They closed it. They prayed around it. These are all people here, by the way. It's going outside, inside the city. So many are there. And they are staying in line to pray. And there is just only one person who's leading the prayer. That's all. And the doings, what they are doing during pilgrimage, is something which is related on the actions of Abraham as well. He used to meditate and to supplicate to God, to praise Him while he is going around the Kaaba. And this is which is brought into life in that religion. And what is said here is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, God is greater, God is greater. Whatever you think of a great thing, like universe, God is greater. To seem always upper, greater than whatever you can imagine. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah is the testimony. I witness, this is the way how you call to prayer. That person witnesses first that he is believing in no God besides Allah. And that Muhammad is a messenger as well. And it goes further, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadun Rasulullah. Hayya al-salah, come to prayer, come to prayer. Hayya al-falah, come for the good things, for a good deed, come for a good deed. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is greater, God is greater. La ilaha illallah. There is no God besides Him. And so that's the way how to call. This is the mosque. I'm sorry, it's very tiny. I wanted to show you that, but I actually couldn't figure out the internet. And this is how it is there. It's not so full. They're outside the pilgrimage, and now the people are wealthier than earlier. They have the money to travel, and they feel that they have the obligation to go there. And I went to that place as well 2 times. I made my pilgrimage 2 times. Why 2 times? I should not have to do it, but it's such a spiritual moment. You are in peace with yourself there. It's forbidden during the pilgrimage. It takes 3 days to harm anything. You're not allowed to take a flower from the ground. Your pilgrimage could be invalid. Or say something where, come into arguing. Your pilgrimage could be invalid. You even don't cut your hair, shave yourself. For 3 days it's okay. And just to focus on one thing in worshipping. And different nationalities, of course, from, I don't know, America till Cape Town. And side by side, Malaysian people, and where we just say Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam, so peace be. This is the greeting, which you know from the Jewish people as well, shalom, salam on you. It's nothing new, as you can see. And the 2 last points are the obligatory charity. The zakat is obligated on people who are in income, which they don't touch for an entire year. If you have money on the bank, which you don't touch for an entire year, then you are obligated to give it into charity, the 2.5% of it. Why? Either to be motivated to invest it, because for what sense do you have money if you don't invest it? Just to collect it? Or if you don't want to invest it, you give it at least to the poor who have now the chance to invest it for yourself, to start a life. And this is obligatory also only for people who have an amount of money, not for who's already poor and wants to collect a few pennies. It's not an obligation for them, only for the more rich people. Like that's an amount. It starts with $3,000. If you have $3,000 on the bank, which you don't touch for an entire year, then you are obligated to give 2.5% of it away to needy people. And the last point is the fasting in month of Ramadan. Ramadan is a month in the moon calendar. We're acting here after the sun calendar, and there exists the moon calendar, as you know, and this is the Arabic term for 1 month. In it, and in that month, we believe that the Quran, and it's also mentioned in the Quran as well, that this is revealed, that the Quran was revealed. And as I told you, it's more seen, if you look at it from that perspective as a believer, as a mercy for the humanity. So this is a very sacred month where the Muslims are doing more worship than in the entire rest of the year, where they fast. They don't eat from the dawn till the sunset, nor drink. And this is nothing new as well. You know it from the Christianity, the vow of silence. They fast to speak. And these are connected with one thing. This are our desires. To keep our desires in check. That controlling your tongue. And this is the most action what a human being can fulfill per day. You can speak 10,000 words, but you can't do 10,000 things on one spot. But you can speak it. And this is counted as an action as well. And more for the worse than for the good. oftentimes might happen. Say, vow of silence has this wisdom behind it. The fast, in fasting of eating something, this is also interesting because to eat food, to drink something is even something which is allowed. It is not, it's beyond this. It's something we depend on it. We would die if we don't eat, right? And this is the point where you again prove first your piety. And second, this is the biggest worship what you can do, because it's above almost the entire day. If I want to pray, I pray, and after that I have to go and eat something, I have to interrupt it. Whatever worship. This is the longest worship what we can do. And it's very spiritual because you are not eating, you are not focusing on that. You are too weak to do also worse things. You don't have the power to, you don't have the power to talk with people about, I go now shopping. No, that's not the month of going shopping. This is not the month to spend money to fulfill your wishes of this life. It's a month of reflecting why you are here. And that strengthens indeed for the next entire year to the next Ramadan.
Masya Allah, demikian guys bagaimana penjelasan yang sangat rinci dan runut dari Ustadzah Bostram. Pada bagian ini beliau menjelaskan rukun haji, berpuasa dan juga zakat. Dan kata-katanya pun sangat mudah diterima oleh mahasiswa-mahasiswa dari Santa Ursula karena menggunakan penjelasan yang sederhana dan juga masuk akal. Beliau juga menjelaskan kesamaan dari baju ihram dari kaum muslimin ketika melaksanakan umroh atau haji. Artinya masih ada sisa-sisa dari peribadatan Nabi terdahulu yaitu Nabi Ibrahim. Tapi beliau tidak menjelaskan bagaimana di agama Buddha ini bisa berubah gitu. Di agama Islam tetap memuliakan Nabi Ibrahim. Terbukti kita setiap sholat selalu bersolawat kepada Nabi Ibrahim. Tidak ada satupun umat Islam yang tidak mencintai Nabi Ibrahim. Jadi kita kaum muslimin setiap sholat pasti menyebut-nyebut nama Nabi Ibrahim. Nah sahabat, itu saja episode kelima. Jika Anda ingin dilanjutkan ke episode ke-6, silahkan ketik komentar di bawah ini. Mudah-mudahan bermanfaat. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.